Hey, it's Trip here from the 87th. This video is not necessarily a tutorial. It is a summary of what I think I know about launching the Delilah missile. It is a summary of the progress to date of my knowledge with this missile system. We're in the Israeli theater in a Sufa type F-16, and we have a Delilah TV guided missile under one wing and a Delilah IR guided missile under the other wing. In addition, when you launch these missiles, you have to have the AN/ASW-55 data link pod mounted on the airplane. So right now we're on our way to steer point 5, or maybe just past it. Let's go to steer point 6. And if I loiter between steer point 6 and steer point 5 after I've launched the missile, it'll keep me clear of this SA-10 ring here. So let's go over to the weapon page. We'll go to the air-to-ground master mode here, and let's flip over to the storage management page and power on the missile. Back to the back to the weapon page, the image comes up immediately. Doesn't always do that, I notice, but this time it does. Apparently the image is from the missile's seeker or viewpoint, because the pod video is not displayed. If pod video is displayed, we would be seeing what the picture looks like from the airplane pod that's mounted under the wing. Alright, so we'll go with the missile's video. Now this STRP means strap, and it's just an indication that the missile is still strapped under the wing, as if we didn't know. When we launch the missile, the autopilot inside the missile will be guiding it toward the steer point that we launched on, which will be steer point 7 in this case. Actually, I think I made a pre-planned thread over on 15. Yeah, 15, it's off to the left side. So we'll launch the missile there and then come back to steer point 6. Alrighty. Yeah, so this changes to cruise once the missile is launched, and later on when it's approaching the target area, we can TMS up and change this to terminal or term and guide it with the hat switch on the stick, same hat switch that you slew the radar cursors with. Alright, let's get ready to launch this missile. I'm going to come off autopilot. We're going to make a turn back toward steer point 15. Now the DLZ says we're in range with steer point 15 selected, so we're in range, and we can launch this thing up to about 80 miles out. That's a Falcon limitation. Normally the missile in real life was capable of about 110 miles. Alright, so I'm going to slew away from 15 and then remove the CZ, TMS up. Now I know I got a good lock on that target. We're headed toward the target area and the threat circle, so let's get this bomb away here quickly. Now with the GBUs 15 that I was playing with earlier, that's a 2,000-pound bomb, and when that thing comes off, it introduces a lot of roll problems, and even full trim in the opposite direction is not enough to keep the thing from rolling. Just almost out of control, so you're really fighting the airplane. But this missile is not like that. It's a very, very modest amount of bank that is introduced when you launch the missile. So let's go back and go to ARM on the master sim, or the master switch. We're within range, and let's launch. Alright, there it goes, and you can see just the modest amount of roll that you have to contend with. Now there is no signal. It might take a little bit of time to acquire a signal. In the meantime, I am going to go back to steer point 6 and fly back in that direction to stay clear of this threat circle. I'll honk it around there and Let's make sure we don't step over the boundary line, because you will get hit by an SA-10. No warning that it's inbound at all. You just will die. Alright, so there's steer point 6. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the autopilot on, both in pitch and steering select, and I'm going to let it fly to steer point 6 as I continue to talk. Let's go back over to the weapon page and see what that looks like. I'm not getting any pod video. Let's see what happens if I go to the weapon video. I'm not getting that either. The problem probably is the antenna. So what's happened here is we were here and we launched the missile out this way, and it's out of the coverage area, the azimuth gate for the forward antenna. So we have to go back to the weapon page and put it in the aft antenna position. That's the aft antenna on the airplane. And so those parameters are quite a bit different, look like bat wings or something, but this is the range that the antenna is looking in, with this little triangular cutout here right at the 6 o'clock position of the airplane. Apparently it can't see in that range there. So we launched the missile over here. As a matter of fact, let me put it in center mode. There's the missile tracking right there. You can see that line between us and the yellow flashing cursor there is getting longer and longer. So that's given us really the range. It's already 20 miles from us. Now if we go back to the weapon page, we can see what the range of the missile is. I believe that's to the target. It's 32.5 right now and decreasing. So this is the time of flight since we launched it. It's good for 23 minutes, and that's significant because there's something called well, it's just the max time that the missile is capable of sending data, I guess, and flying level. Now the antenna has some portion of the airplane apparently has broken the signal between the bomb and us, so we're going to get this no signal until we roll back wings level. But I'm not ready to panic yet because the bomb's still a good way from the target. Let's see if we can pick out where it is. There it is right there, and it's got quite a ways to go to impact. So hopefully we'll be turned around back toward the target. We got another 70 degrees or so to get back to steer point 5. If we were to roll the wings level at this point, we would pick up a signal. So not ready to panic just yet. You'd slow up a little bit, probably going a bit too fast. Let's go back to the weapon page. Still don't have a signal, but we'll get one. Now when you launch the missile, you can tell it what altitude you want it to cruise at by going to the control page. And I'll show you that as soon as we get a picture back here. But you can select, we launched it at about 18,000, so that's what it's going to fly at. There we go. Let's go back to this weapon page, see if we can get a signal here. There we go. Alrighty. So I don't have a picture yet. If I make the MFD the center of interest, I can slew. You see this little rectangular, triangular diamond down here? It's kind of hidden. I'm going to slew toward that diamond. There we go, and put that diamond in the middle. Now I have to constantly slew until I go into the terminal mode. Right now it's in cruise mode. So as soon as I TMS forward, it goes to terminal mode. Now when well no, I don't even have to TMS forward again. Now it's stabilized on the target. The target should be right under that triangle. There's an expand option here. If I hit that, it'll zoom me in a little bit on the target itself. Let me check on our position here. We're well outside the SAM threat, so we're looking good here. And again, let's see, there's the little yellow X here, and it's almost to the target. Let's go back here. Now you can see the target getting bigger because the missile's getting closer to the target. Alright, let me freeze it right here and just show you what I was talking about. Part of the setup here is on the control page. You have this option to set the altitude that the missile cruises at once it leaves the aircraft. It's a powered cruise missile in effect. So to do that, you just hit cruise, and let's say I wanted it to go at 16,000. So I would type in 1 and then 6 and then 0, and as soon as you do that, the the page automatically pops back to the control page. Let me just try here. I think that's the only way I'm going to get out of this. 160. So there we go. So I told the missile to cruise at 160. That might work for the next missile. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so the missile's been flying, if we take it off pause, for 5 minutes and 45 seconds, and it gives you the range. It's about 8 miles to the target. Its heading is 220, its speed is 515 knots, and its altitude is displayed there. Alright, so as it gets closer, I can fine-tune. If I make the MFD the sensor of interest, I can use the cursor to fine-tune it. Now, once I'm sure that that's my target, I need to get out of control. Once I'm sure that's my target, I need to arm the fuse, and that's this OSB over here. I found that if you do a long TMS forward, that'll arm the fuse, so you don't have to use the mouse button to click over it. So we're looking pretty good. Looks like we're going to get a direct hit, which is fun. It's fun to see the missile flying toward the target that way, instead of just looking for it to hit, looking from the airplane down to the ground. Check on our position. Looks real good. And we're going to get a good hit on this antenna site. Boom. Alright, good deal. Let's go out of the air-to-ground mode. And we're almost to the steer point. I'm going to go back to steer point 7, and we're going to launch the next missile. Now, in order to launch the next missile, we have to go to the SMS page, and it shows 0 Delilahs. Well, we know we still have 1 left, so what you have to do when you select the next missile type is you have to hit this OSB 6 here. Now that shows that the Delilah is on pylon 7 and the power is on. So let's go back to the weapon page. Actually, let's go back to this page, and let's see if we can launch this missile without any problems. Alright, I'm not going to change the target for now. I'm just going to leave it on 15. Let me dauber up to 15. There we go. I'm going to slew the cursor away on the FCR, take out the cursor slews, TMS forward, and I could look at it on the TGP, but not interested because I got a good picture. Actually, let me see what we get on the TGP from this far out. I'm not sure we'll get much. No, not too much. No. Alright, so let's go to the weapon page. Now on the weapon page, the pod video is showing no signal. Of course, that's because we have the antenna on the aft antenna of the airplane, so we need to change that back to the forward antenna because we're going right toward the target. Still don't have a picture. Let's switch to this is the bombs picture now. This is not coming from the pod on the airplane. This is the bomb picture. So I want to get back to steer point 6. I don't want to go any closer to this threat circle than I need to. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, this must be left over from the last bomb. I'm not quite sure why that's a dashed line that way. But that's what I'm trying to figure out in all this process. So let's go back here and get ready to launch this bomb. It's strapped to the airplane. Did we ever launch it? No, hell, we never launched the damn thing. Let's go back to steer point 15. Yeah, you got to launch the bomb before you can expect it to do anything. Don't forget that. It's an important lesson. What else can we think of to say about this Delilah? I'm pretty happy with it, just because it doesn't introduce so much roll problems and you're not fighting the airplane while you're trying to concentrate on hitting a target. This is really, really nice. Alrighty, 20 degrees from target, line up. Let's see what it looks like. We're getting close to that threat circle. I'm going to override the autopilot, roll out here, and we're within range. Going to launch the missile. There she goes. Alright, now we want to go back to steer point 6. Let's get out of here. You step across that line, you're going to get hit by an SA6 or 10. I hope we don't get hit by a 10. I'm going to go to Cat 1 here. Get rid of that caution. This would be bad poopy right here. I would be dead in just a few more seconds here from an SA-10 missile stepping across the line this way. That was not good. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed here. Hope we don't get launched on. That was a bad move. Alrighty, nothing we can do about it now. The airplane's turning toward steer point 6. Let's see what the weapon page looks like. We know we're going to have to go to the aft antenna because we're going away from the target. There we go. So the missile is, it looks like, I can't read that, 16 miles. A good track IR zoom feature would be handy here. Lost the signal. That's from the pod. Let's see if we can pick it up. No, we can't pick it up from the weapon either yet. Let's see. We're getting pretty close to, no we're not. We're looking good. Alright, so here we go. This is the track of the missile, and it's still within the antenna reception area here, but maybe it's just not quite good enough to get a signal. Let's go back. No, the weapon's still not giving us a signal. Let's recycle these. Alright, well let's keep it in this position here and see if we can pick up a signal. It is on, and we launched the missile. Everything's cool there. We are within the azimuth gate for it. I'm not sure why we're not getting a picture. I'm going to go to pod video, no signal. I'll give it time here, I don't know why. Won't give up on it yet. This is the IR missile. There we go. Alright. So hey, the picture looks about the same. The missile's been launched for 2 minutes. It's in the cruise mode. Its autopilot is taking it to the steer point 15. And it's at 16,000 feet. So that's the altitude that we told it to cruise at until such time as it needs to descend. Now there is a function called go around. From what I can gather, it's like a holding function. So if you're guiding the missile to the target and you can't make out your target, you just can't get it lined up, you can kind of hit this go around button and it'll put it in, from what I can gather, just kind of a holding track, and give you time to look for the target again. Alright, let's go back to the HSD, see where our missile is in relation to the target. Okay, it's got a little bit of ways to go here, so I'm not going to panic about having no signal. We're 80 miles or 80 degrees of turn to go. There's a signal. Now, let's see. We are heading away from the target. So yeah, we're in the aft antenna. We should be good, but we're coming up on that area at the direct 6 o'clock to the airplane where maybe we're not going to get reception. I think that's what that's telling me. Alright, 40 more degrees to go. And if I don't get a signal here in the next couple of seconds, I'm going to roll out manually, override the autopilot. I need to know where my missile is. Alright, I'm not going to take the autopilot off because it causes problems with that steering mode. Let's see what I want to do here. There's the picture. The missile is about 8 miles from impact. I'll go ahead and let it turn. Oh, got it. Come on, booger. Roll out. Thank you. Roll. Alright, there's a picture. I need to, there's the speed down here, so I need to make the MFD the sensor of interest, and I need to just slew toward that speed. I hope I'm not too late here. Come on, Mr. Speed. There we go. And there is the target. I'm going to put it in terminal mode. There's terminal mode, and I'm going to slew it over to this building. I assume that's a building right there. I'm going to expand that. No, that's not really a building. Let's see if we can get a better target before it hits. Here's a bunker or something. Let's keep it slewed over that. So the time until impact is here at somewhere 7 seconds. No, I can't read. 6 seconds. Picture's getting better. The video looks the same. Now, if you're going to fly a night mission or a low light mission, you want to be sure to take the IR version and not the TV version. They sure look like the same to me, though. Alright, so I think we got 2 good hits. When we go out to the debrief screen, we can see the results of our efforts here. And so at this point, that's what I know and what I've learned about the Delilah, the TV and the IR guided Delilah. Hope you've got something out of this video, and trip out.